Dear students, today we will be discussing about the functions of leaf. What all functions are facilitated by the leaves? What all functions the leaves carry out or facilitate for the plants, right? What all functions? This I have discussed in the previous video that regarding the main functions. Main functions, when you say, it means all the leaves of all the plant leaves, to say they must carry out or they must facilitate for these three main functions. What are these three main functions? The three main functions are photosynthesis, transpiration and gaseous exchange. What is this photosynthesis? You are very well familiar. In a simple language for you to understand, it is food making making process in plants, right? It is food making process in plants. What happens? The plants, they manufacture food for themselves. As you know, the plants are fixed at one place. They never go to the market for getting their food. As we go to the ration shop, we go to the vegetable market to get the vegetables. So but the plants, they remain fixed at one place. They can go from one place to another place like we animals. So what happens, they also need food because they also are living things. To carry out their vital activities, the metabolic activities and physiological phenomena in the body, they need energy, they need some nutrition. So this nutrition is facilitated by this process of photosynthesis. In your early classes you may have heard of, said by your teacher, that the leaves are the food factory of the plant. Why is it said so? It's because the leaves, they they collect raw materials like water and carbon dioxide from their surrounding. You know how the water is brought in the plant? It is absorbed from the soil by the roots of the plants and reach to the leaves. And when this water reaches to the leaf, these leaves have small holes. I have discussed in my previous video that undersurface of the leaves, they have temporary holes that develop at the time of need. These holes are called stomata, and these stomatal holes or pores, through this the atmospheric air is taken in by the plants. So what happens, this way, the from the atmosphere the plants absorb carbon dioxide, and with the help of their roots they absorb the water and minerals. These both things, carbon dioxide and the absorb water and mineral, they reach to the leaf of the plant. Where do they live? Do they reach to the leaf of the plant? This leaf of the plant is having an organelle in the cell known as chloroplast, right? This chloroplast has the ability to trap, to catch, right? You may have seen uh, the animals trapping their prey, right? You may have observed a lizard on the wall catches a cockroach or another small insect. You may have seen birds picking their food like this. That is trapping, catching. So similarly, these leaves have the organelle known as chloroplast, and this chloroplast can trap, can catch the sun's light, called the solar light, and using the solar light, it combines both raw materials. Which both raw materials I refer here? I mean to say the water that is absorbed by the roots and the carbon dioxide that is taken from the atmosphere. These both are combined together. If they are combined together chemically, do you know what happens? This combined result of this is known as carbohydrate. Carbo for carbon dioxide and hydrate for water. So carbohydrate, right? So carbohydrate in our common language or simple language is the sugar that you eat. Many of you like sugars very much, isn't it? In your childhood, you have read about the poem Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa. Isn't it? So eating sugar, aha, that is very common. So most of you like the sugar. This sugar is produced in the leaves, and that sugar is utilized by the plant body to carry out various vital activities and develop the various parts, carry out physiological activities and so many vital activities, right? So this is the main function. I was talking in this video, I'm talking of the functions of the leaf. So the main function, when I say main function, means all the leaves of all the plants, the green leaves, they must facilitate for the process of photosynthesis. I have told you what is photosynthesis. Is a food making process in plants. In this, what happens, that also I have told you, that the water absorbed from the soil, carbon dioxide taken from the soil, they both are brought together in the leaves, and with the help of sunlight they are combined chemically together, and they result in new substance known as carbohydrate. Why I have told you the name is carbohydrate? It's because the carbo for carbon and carbon dioxide and hydrate for water. So the substance that is formed or resulted is carbohydrate. Common name of carbohydrate I have told you, sugar, right? That you commonly use in our kitchen. In the tea we use sugar, is it? In the sweets we use sugar. In various dishes, pudding, so many are there where we use the sugar or need the sugar, right? And in the shakes you use sugar, in the lemon juice you use sugar. So there is a large number of use of sugar, right? Similarly, these plants, they use the sugar produced in the leaves, and this sugar is transported to different parts of the body with the help of their structures they already have in their body, right? That process is called translocation, or transferring of food materials from the leaves to different parts of the plant body, right? The what is the second main function of the leaf? That is transpiration. You know, during the class hours, you feel like urinating. Why do you feel like urinating? It's because you you have extra water collected in your urinary bladder. You want to push it out, right? That is that feeling to push that extra water out of the body is known as urine, to discharge urine. Similarly, what happened? The plants, they have the roots. These roots continually suck the water drops, water from the soil, and they continuously reach it to their leaves, right? To their leaves. So this water that is absorbed from the soil, this reaches to the leaf. Where this water absorbed from the soil reaches to the leaf, reaches is to the leaf. But where to keep this water? You know, In our houses, we keep the water stored in the overhead tanks of our houses. On our houses, at the top roof, we have the water tank, Syntax, and the various commercial brands are there. Circular, cylindrical tanks, plastic tanks used to be used in our houses, and we store. And you see, in the morning when you switch on the motor, once the tank is completely filled, what happens? The If you do not switch off the motor at once, the extra water reached to the tank overflows, comes out of the tank. Similarly, what happens? These roots, they don't have any sensor that sufficient water has reached in the leaves. Now it is time to stop absorbing water. It doesn't happen so. What happens? These roots they continuously keep on absorbing water and pushing it to the leaves. Leaves have a limited place in the form of cells to store the water. Once all these cells they get filled with this water, they cannot retain any more of the water in their body, in the leaves. So what happens? This extra water is to be thrown out of the body, right? Is to be pushed out, is to be given out, because these roots they are not going to stop sucking water from the soil and pushing it to the leaves. So what happens? A time comes when these leaf cells they are full of water. They develop very small holes. You see on our skin we have small holes. Can you see the holes here at this place? This place, can you see? Can you see these holes? Small holes. Can you see? Can you see these holes? Yeah, these holes. Can you see these holes here? So these holes you can see on our skin. You can easily notice the hole. Similarly, and through these holes, what do? We remove the sweat. In summer season, we start sweating, and you can see the small holes, right? Similarly, the leaves also develop small holes on the under surface of them, and through these holes this water is released. Extra water, not the required water, not all the water falls out, right? That comes on the surface and gets evaporated because of the wind or the temperature of the surrounding or dry air. All these different factors cause the evaporation of the water that comes on the surface. This is a very slow process. It is not like the tap. You start the tap and water flows so rapidly out of it. It is not so. It's a very slow process and very fine moisture particles, very fine droplets of water. They come on the surface. It doesn't take the shape of droplet even, you can say. And just like water vapor, it comes out and gets evaporated. So the second important function of the leaves is to expel extra water, extra water from the plant body, right? This is the second function of the leaf. And the third function is, I have told you, as we have these nostrils. Can you see these nostrils facing downwards? These nostrils are not facing upwards. These nostrils are facing. Similarly, these holes that they develop to release the extra water from their body, through these, when these holes open, these holes are known as stomata. So many holes together are known as stomata, and single hole or single pore is known as stoma, right? So these holes, as soon as they open to release the extra water from the plant body, at the same time, simultaneously, you can say, the from the atmosphere carbon dioxide enters into it. What for? For the first function I have told you, photosynthesis. So the gases like carbon dioxide that are required for making food, photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is raw material for making the food for the plant, and that enters into it, right? And because of that, the third important function that we can know for the leaves is it gives out the gases it doesn't want and it takes in the gases. Is similar to the function of our nostrils. What does our nostrils do? These two holes in our under the nose, through these holes the atmospheric air enters and the carbon dioxide, water vapors that are not required in our body, they are given out, that is breathing in and breathing out. As this is a mechanical process and physiological process, you can say, that is carried out. Similarly, in the plant leaves also, these gases are released out of the plant body and are taken inside the plant body. Do you understand? So this is the third important function of the leaf, that is exchange of gases. Means to give out, and take in the required gases from the plant body. Is that clear to all of you? So these are the three main functions of the leaf, right? So this is all about the functions of the leaves in this video. In the next video, I will talk about the modified functions of the leaf, right? Okay, thank you. Take care.